Hey everybody, Scott Oden coming at you here. Thank you so much for joining us. We are going to go through my golf bag today. Alright everybody, so thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for tuning in and subscribing to the channel. If you're not a subscriber, make sure you click that subscriber button below. But we are going to go through my golf bag. I get a lot of questions about equipment and what do people need to buy, what do you need to look for. So I'm just going to walk you through my golf bag and we'll take you all the way through the bag to what's in it and let's see if it helps you out. Alright, so we can't talk about equipment without talking about the bag. Alright, so when you're looking at a golf bag, what are some of the things that you need to be thinking about? One, what is your purpose? Are you going to be carrying your bag? Then you definitely need to go with a carry bag. Obviously, I coach a university team. They did some cool things with it. Being able to carry it. My kids laugh at me if I use push cart, so I need to be able to carry the bag, and that's why we went with the Ping mascot bag. It's very light, very durable. I've used Ping for a long time. I love them, so that's why we do it. It's got to have enough pockets for what you need, but main thing is it functional? Is it lightweight for what you're doing? And you combine all that and you'll get a bag. Alright, so we move into the woods. So this is the point where I always get comments because, you know, I've got old woods, right? I've had this driver for 7 years, same with the 3-wood and the hybrid actually. They're all three are together. And they are all G30 clubs, you know, from Ping. And the driver, we'll start with that. Why the driver is, it's an LS Tech head, it's low spin. Why do I still have this driver? Well, it's the one that I feel comfortable with. I have yet to find something where I'm like, yeah, that's going to outperform this driver, and I like the look of it. I find that drivers I hit currently are very marginal on if at all, produce any better results, especially on the head. So I have a 9-degree head. I have it turned down just a little bit, but it just feels good. I'm comfortable with it, and I know what I'm gonna get. So it's hard to beat it as long as it's still working. I still get good smash and ball speed numbers, so we're gonna stick with it. We move on to the important part, and I did this with both my 3-wood and my driver, but I have a hazardous T1100 shaft. This is the 6.0. It's a 75 gram. I've got a 6.5, 75 gram in my 3-wood. Again, no rhyme or reason why there's a 6.0 to a 6.5. You'd think it would be backwards, but those are just the ones that gave me the numbers I was looking for those particular clubs. So you got to do some testing. You got to figure out what's going on. There's a playbook about fitting, but you do have to just try them out and see what works best for you. This one works the best. This has made the biggest difference by doing this and getting it into my old driver head. I've seen my numbers go up anyway, so I think the shaft is the most important part that you should be looking at. And when you get a good golf shaft, it really feels stout, so you're going to be able to tell the difference even from the stock shafts. Even if they say they're really good from the companies, sometimes I'd be a little skeptical because they just don't perform as well, at least for me, when I'm going through them. So that's the driver. The 3-wood's going to be very similar. Alright, again, no rhyme or reason on the shaft, but I haven't found anything that I like and fits into what I want. With the 3-wood, I'm trying to fit a specific yardage gap. So if I'm doing that, some of the newer 3-woods, they might go farther, but they're too long. They're getting close to my driver. So I don't want that. I want this to fit in. I want it to be a go-to club, my trusty tee shot club, and that's what we're gonna use. Hybrid, we get to the hybrid is, I use a 19-degree hybrid. It's against a G30. Again, just trying to fit a club gap. I used to have a hazardous black. I have that in a driving iron right now. So this is just the stock stiff Ping shaft. Why do I not switch this one? It fits into a yardage gap, but I also don't hit this one left as much, and I like the height that I get on it. So that's kind of something I look for with all the woods. So you can see it's got to fit your game and what your goals are. If you're going shopping for clubs, look at what you want and then try to fit that with what you're going and buying. So that's what I have for those. One little note we'll put on too is in all my clubs, and except for the wedges, and I'll get to that, I do have oversized grips. 2 reasons why. One, I don't like to hit the ball left, so I want to make sure I'm keeping the ball going a little bit to the right side. So I have oversized grips. The other thing is I do have arthritis. I've had it for many years now, and especially when it was at its worst, it was something where it was a really hard challenge to grip a golf club. So getting the oversized grips made that possible. So I don't fit into I fit into a larger grip, but not an oversized, but I had to do that because of the physical stuff that was going on. So that's why I go with the oversized. Again, I also don't like hitting it left, so it fits well with that. So we move into the irons. All right, so these irons I've had for about a year. I love these irons. These are the Cobra, these are the King, the Forged Tour irons. You know, I saw them, I love the look of them. I decided I was gonna give them a try, and I like that they're a little bit more of a blade feel than what I'm used to or what I had before. But they still have a little bit of a cavity. There's still some forgiveness. What I like is when I had more of a cavity back iron, I didn't have a full cavity, but I had a little bit more forgiveness. I would hit shots and I would actually think I made a bad swing and I would hit a good shot. And I was like, well, that's interesting. So the forgiveness was confusing me. It's like, I want to have an iron, when I hit a shot and make a swing, the ball needs to go where I think it's going. These definitely do that for good and for worse. The other thing I look for in irons is I want the trajectory to stay down. I can tend to launch the irons a little too high, especially the short ones. So I want something that's driving a little bit more. That does this. And also when I get the oversized grip on, I do need to be careful because the head will get a little bit light. So these definitely have a good weight with the oversized grip. I like that. I didn't have to do a whole bunch of doctoring with lead tape. So that's helpful as we go. And then the shaft on these, I've always had KBS Tours. I've had those for a long time. I love them. This is 120 gram. This is the Tour FLT, the Tour Flight. Again, just trying to get the trajectory right on the irons, but that's the irons we got. All right, into wedges. So we're moving into wedges. We've got 3 wedges in the bag. I got a pitching wedge too, so you can say 4 wedges. I always just kind of look at the 3. But I've got a 60, a 54, a 50, and then that pitching wedge is at 45. So, you know, that's just the gapping I've had for a long time. It fits well with what I know. The biggest thing I've always found is if I run into gapping issues, I have to just start switching out wedges because they get worn down too much. So I have SM6s still. I like these wedges. I try to get them if they're still available, but I think I'm gonna have to eventually start to switch. I've got the wedge I worry most about the grinds. I worry about the most on my 60 and 54. It's the S grinds. I have an F grind on my 50. They didn't have the S grind in the 50 back then. Now, what I like is what I'm promoting in wedge play, I tend to dig, so I'm trying to make sure I don't dig. I'm gonna use as much bounce. All my wedges have double digits in bounce. I don't worry about ball plugged in the bunker. I'm not going to build my set for a situation that I hope never happens and rarely happens. So I get run into more wet turf, soft sand. I tend to chunk wet chip shots, if anything. I want that little bit of extra help to make sure the club bounces, and I want to promote that I trust the bounce on my pitch shot. So that's why we go with this set. Been trusties for a long time. One little note I want to throw in too, I have just standard stock wedge shafts. I don't hit wedges full ever. One thing to note is I have the same style of grip, the crossline style. I do have standard grips on my wedges. There's 2 reasons for that. One, I like to feel like I have some maneuverability in the club face. The bigger grip is going to start promoting less hands. You know, I just feel like I have a little less feel and touch with that. So me, I always prefer having that little bit of a smaller grip with the wedge. Okay, and then the other thing is I do like to try to throw the ball up. Okay, and I do like to get the club face with the bounce kind of exposed. I feel like I do that better with these grips than I did with the oversized grips. A little bonus too is I like the wedges to feel heavy. You get the thicker grip on, the club head feels lighter. You gotta put a bunch of lead tape on. It's just hard to find the right mix. So I like to stick with the standard grip. All right, going to the putter. So I actually have 2 in the bag, but this is the gamer. I'll go over more why I have 2 and what I've figured out why I actually use this one. But the thing I use is the Spider Tour. I've putted with a mallet putter for a long time. I do really well with the mallet putter. I aim it well. It fits my stroke. So We use this one a lot, and it's not my, I wish I didn't have to use it kind of thing. It's a weird thing about golfers. I putt better with it, but I wish from the coolness factor, I wish I could use a blade and be successful, but I just have more success. When I put this putter in the bag, I got my, I hadn't had a strokes gain positive putting round in a long time. I finally got that. Overall, my strokes gain has gone down. So, I got to use that data to give me confidence that this is the one to go to. So that's what we do, and we go with this putter. So that's my golf bag. I hope that helps you when you're shopping, looking for your clubs. Some of the decisions I go to, I don't just buy it because it's the latest, greatest. If I bought a new driver every time a new one came out and got the yardage they promised, I should be hitting it at 600 yards by now, but I'm not. So it's got to fit into what I need and what I'm looking for, and if it doesn't, I'm okay with what I have. There is something to be said for a little bit of security in your equipment, knowing what it can do and feeling very confident in it. So I take that very heavily into when I'm putting new equipment into the bag. But hopefully this helps you. It's holiday shopping season. You're looking at clubs, you're looking at, maybe you're going to a trade show. Should I buy it? Should I not? What should I look for? Hopefully this will help you with some of that, and you'll be better off making your decisions. So thanks so much everybody for watching. We'll have more videos about club fitting, clubs, how to know what to buy. So make sure you click that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video.